congratulate the whole team. Cause when you riding like we riding with each other, ain't no hiding. Tell them line it up like a 4th and 1. We sneaky when we slide them. Y'all on offense with no defense. Now y'all time is up. We make the hits, y'all take the hits, and now we fired up. 3, 2, 1, don't need no break. Hut 1, hut 2, get it straight. That's how I like it. And we grind it every night to make it hit. Now it's exciting.
The city of Philadelphia is one of rich history and passion, and you can always count on the latter when you step inside Lincoln Financial Field. Tonight, we wrap up an intriguing Week 2 with a good Monday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. This taken in at the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And they'll have very good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They start the drive with Cook. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. Here we go. Cousins to throw it. That's complete to Tyler Johnson. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. And you get the sense, as I'm sure they got this sense, they might have picked up a good one here, maybe a little diamond in the rough via trade.
Maybe just need a change in scenery, a new city, maybe different motivation, but they believe they've got a good one.
1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. Our game here, the Vikings and Eagles, the 2nd of 2 on this Monday night. The Titans and Bills kicked off a little over an hour ago up in Buffalo. And this, our only Monday night doubleheader of the season, but rumor is might have a few more for 2023. Cousins throw complete there to Johnson. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Pretty solid opening drive here, Charles. They've worked in the run game, the pass game, just steadily getting yards, and now they've got it inside the red zone here with an opportunity.
And the only thing they don't have so far is points. But the way that they're moving the ball now, that shouldn't take much longer. And they've established a great balance so far. Running.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. And, Charles, part of the reason they lost last week, they didn't have a single sack. Well, they changed that quickly.
But did they ever? And it was something they talked about with us extensively. They needed to get pressure. How were they going to get to the quarterback? Obviously, they schemed themselves into a great play, didn't they?
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. But for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And they'll send the tight end in motion left. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Darius Slay with a pick. There he goes, left side. The 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick 6 TD. Well, CD, these two teams barely off the buses, and this defense already has a sack and now the interception and the pick six to take the lead.
Partner, you'd have to think that this was part of their game plan coming in because they wanted to embrace an aggressive mindset and attack on defense. They were trying to force that quick miscue, and I would say their plan worked to perfection.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. Kenny Nwagu now out of his end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Avonte Maddox. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick six TD. Charles, it's now a two-touchdown lead in the opening quarter. Following that pick six, they are off to a fast start in this one.
And absolutely ecstatic on the sideline after that play, aren't they? Not just because they've got the lead, but how about seeing one of their guys get a chance to take it in for six? Already up a pair of touchdowns. They've got everything going their way early on.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Nwagu now from his end zone. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They run the counter with Cole. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Cousins now. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. Boston Scott deep for Philadelphia. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start the drive with Elliott.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've got to hit the jackpot there.
He's going deep for Brown. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They'll start following the interception in great field position at the 45. Following the interception, Cousins. And his throw here is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
On second down, Cousins again. He's going to find Jefferson open downfield. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 29, Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. And the Eagles will take over here just shy of the 30. The one side gets an interception, but their defense comes on the field and picks them right back up by getting a pick of their own.
And I think you saw the same thing that I did, Brandon. As he ran off the field after making that play, we saw his quarterback seek him out and offer a personal thank you to bail him out a little bit.
He's got him in, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 35.
But they didn't ease into that drive right out of the turnover. They go for the big shot downfield and hit it. A lot of teams have that opportunity, but not every coach is going to green light that type of a play call. I love their aggressiveness.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Throwing is Hurts. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down. Up the middle, here's Elliott. They find some open field here. Touchdown, Philadelphia! Ezekiel Elliott, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this team.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered. They'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
13 yards remaining on second down. Cook up the gut. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. 3rd and long for Cousins. And now here's another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. That is now 5 interceptions that he has thrown in this ball game. If I asked you to speculate what's possibly going on in his head, what would you say?
Well, if he's as mentally strong as I believe he is, he understands that not all of these picks have been his fault. You know, some of the throws, yes, but there have been a good number of them where he hasn't been helped by his own receivers, and they've turned into interceptions. So he knows if he keeps firing, perhaps. Good.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Another try after the first down sack. Hurts. And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. And the Vikings will take over possession here up at the 44. So a nice play defensively by the rookie coming up with the INT.
And that's a late-round pick right there, making a first-round impact. And a lot of these day 3 corners end up winding up on special teams.
And my goodness, another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for 2nd and long. What do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it 3rd and manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
18, right here.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
A couple of quick incompletions, and now they're just one more away from getting off the field. They've got options now. Could they dial up a blitz here or just drop everyone into coverage to crowd the throwing lanes?
Hurts sets up to throw it. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. So that potentially an important takeaway here in this second quarter.
Because what it does is give the offense a chance to put a drive together. They've got nothing on the scoreboard so far, so you have to think that they need something before the break. And now they have an opportunity.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
And now here's another interception. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick, and the Eagles will take over here just shy of the 30. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him.
And the defense loses him. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now. And Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Here's Hurts to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Vikings are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. A first down throw for Cousins. And now here is another interception. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good.
Partner, they're locked in man coverage out left, and they end up running a crossing route. Rounded it a little bit more than a slant. He's just going to angle himself towards the right side of the field, and that's very difficult for a defender to shadow him across all that ground.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And he will be out of bounds with no time remaining on what will be the final action of this first half. So we are at halftime here on a Monday night. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Play action. Here's Hurts. Steps away. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. They go play action with Hurts. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Hurts. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Za'Darius Smith, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here. Back-to-back sacks. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. This is Smith with a grab. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. First throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On the move to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead. And thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Za'Darius Smith able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
To me, the defense was looking a little gassed near the end of the first half, but they've come out of the locker room with a little extra spring in their step. Wonder what they did at halftime to get them so motivated.
I don't know, but that sack looked good. Now let's see if they can build on the momentum of that play. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Now on 2nd and 13. Cousins can't get away, and he's taken down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This one brought in by Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Cousins on 1st down. Trying to lay one up deep. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the third quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency. And
he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. Slot man moves right. To try again after the sack. Hurts eluding the pressure right. And now here is another interception. And the Vikings are going to get the football back as time will run out in this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. Yellow. From the 36, Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Elliott now to add the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. And now here is another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. After the pick-6, they go right back to the air. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. They're going for Jefferson downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
He's going to try and go deep again. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Cougar 19. Trap 50, trap 50. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
He'll drop to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 65 yards. And the Eagles add another 6 points to what's going to be a blowout victory. Elliott good with a PAT, and it is 42-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase.
And now here's another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. The offense on 3rd down tonight, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. And he's got his man. It's the tight end Goddard. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, they're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference and see what he has to say, because someone's going to ask him why he continued to push it. My guess, he didn't like how some of the snaps were run earlier, and he wanted to use that as a chance to clean things up, but he certainly will have some explaining to do.
Open man, he's got him. That's Smith for the Philadelphia touchdown. Devontae Smith, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have got it on cruise control. Elliott good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly.
And my goodness, another interception. Darius Slay with a pick. And the Eagles are going to take possession of the football. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, I think it's pretty evident that any blowout isn't going to be big enough for them. They're already up 7 full touchdowns, and it's still not stopping them from throwing it deep downfield, taking their shots, trying to add more points.
18, Pioneers. 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Buffalo 18.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Hurts. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Zadarius Smith, make that now 4 sacks for him in tonight's ball game. So after that sack, Hurts and the Eagles, tough spot here, 3rd and long. The play action fake, they'll look to throw. He's got Smith here, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Another top 5 season in rushing for Cook last year. His 3rd straight over 1,100 yards and his 3rd straight ending with a Pro Bowl selection. This season can see a couple more milestones for him. He will cross 5,000 yards very early and could climb to 3rd on the Vikings' all-time list of rushing leaders.
Here's Cook again. And he'll run straight into a wall of tacklers at the line of scrimmage. It's 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cook. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. One last shot now for Cousins. He'll buy some time right. And now here is another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury. So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for the Eagles, they make amends for their Week 1 loss by winning their home opener.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.